The Razer Viper V3 Pro killer just got even better. So, is this truly the end for the Razer Viper V3 Pro? Let's go ahead and find out. Now that seems to be everything inside the box. Very nice, simple packaging. Everything that you will be needing will come with the mouse. Now first impressions on the mouse, it is so shiny. What? But yeah, this is the parrot green variation. I think it is one of the best looking variations they got for this mouse, along with the flame red. I kinda already made a review about this mouse, but this time this is the S9 Max variation, which is lighter. And yeah, has this variation. I don't think the S9 Max is available for the other colors. So yeah, take note for the other variations I'm about to mention, you won't be able to get this lightweight S9 Max at the moment. But yeah, they also have the white, the black, and the gradient purple other than the flame red and this parrot green. And we also have 4 different variations. We do have the S9, the S9 Pro, the S9 Max, which I got over here, and the S9 Ultra. I have a review for the S9 Pro and S9 Ultra already, so this video is gonna be more focused on the Max over here. Wait, I just noticed you can actually kind of see me through the reflection because it's so glossy. What the heck? But yeah, it has an amazing build quality, very durable, no flex, there isn't really any rattle. It is made out of plastic, but again, the durability is good and it looks and feels very high quality. For the coating, it is very grippy. I don't need no grips for this, and surprisingly, there isn't really much. It's not really leaving any fingerprints when I'm doing this. Yeah, like it's very hard to see. But yeah, I really love the coating. You don't need no grips over here, but if you want, the mouse did came in with some grips. Now for the clicks, here's a little sound test. Now I don't really have any problems with the sounds and the clicks. I think they feel pretty snappy. Very easy to click and consistent over here. Minimal post pre-travel. But yeah, these are Kale White Sword flagship 100 million clicks. Now for the scroll wheel, I also have no problems. Very nice tensioning. It is a bit on the lighter side, but it's not too light. Very easy to spam as well. It is rubberized. For the side buttons, there is a little bit of mush. Very minimal pre-travel, but yeah, there is some post-travel if you really click hard. But yeah, they're not really the mushiest, just a little bit. I've tested mushier side buttons. No problems with the side buttons over here. Now for the weight, which I think is the main reason why people would get the Max over here compared to the other variations, it is on 61.7 grams. So let's test out the Ultra. 64.1, so that is like around a 3-gram difference on my scale, which I could actually feel, and I don't know if this will help, but let's also remove this guy on the bottom since we don't really have a dongle to hide there. That's gonna bring it down to just 61 grams on my scale at least. But yeah, they do advertise it as 59 grams, which is pretty close. 61 grams. I don't really have any problems with the weight, and I'm actually happy with that decision because one of my personal complaints, just personally, it's not really a bad thing, but yeah, it's the 65-gram advertised weight, or around 64 plus grams on my scale at least. But yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of those weights. I do prefer lighter ones. So yeah, I do love the direction where this is going. But yeah, anyways, for the shape, if you can't already tell, it is very similar to the Viper V3 Pro. So if you like that shape, then you would definitely like this one as well. It is good for claw grippers, palm grippers, fingertip. Yeah, I can see that. It does feel pretty comfortable with my grip, which is like claw but kind of palm hybrid. I do like having a hump over here, but yeah, with my 18 by 8 centimeter hands and this grip, I do like it. But okay, moving on to the performance, I already kind of talked a little bit about it earlier, but yeah, this will have a 3395 sensor. It's not as good as the 3950 of the Ultra version, but to be honest, you probably won't really notice a difference, and they both will have 8000 Hz polling rate on wired and wireless, so yeah, you ain't really missing out on anything major. Then for the battery life, it will have 500 milliampere milliampere hours, which I think is still pretty big. They can actually cut that down to half to make it even lighter, but yeah, 500 milliampere hours. If you like long battery life, then you'll be able to have that over here because of the big battery. But without further ado, let's go ahead and test this mouse out more in game. But okay, I have the EWEADN official website where you can buy this mouse from. It will be first link in the description. Now if you go up here, go to support, driver download, then find the EWEADN S9 and go to the web driver, then initialize a device, connect the EWEADN S9 Max, connect that, click here, and yeah, here you go, web-based software. When I reviewed the Ultra and the Pro, it didn't have a web-based software, but yeah, now there is, and it is pretty compatible with those as well. I mean, that's what it says here, but yeah, after you open the web software, we can customize the buttons, the functions, as you can see, very nice and customizable. We can even set macros. Now, if you open this and it's not on English, just go to the bottom left over here on setup, then go to language settings, English. But yeah, we can also update the firmware. I guess we're in the latest firmware. We can also equipment, reset the data, all this stuff, about, check for updates. Going back to this tab over here, we can also change the DPI. I'm currently on 1.6K, but yeah, you can get very customizable all the way up to 26K. We have steps of 50 you can adjust, but yeah, this is also for the DPI steps, because as you can see, we do have a quick change or a DPI bottom under the mouse. Yeah, this should switch like that every time you press it. But yeah, we can also change the response rate or polling rate. I have mine on 8000. Lift off distance, we can choose between 2 or 1, and then yeah, we can set macros here. And then we have the device settings. We have hibernation settings, which I'm guessing is sleep time. We also have debounce if you're experiencing any double clickings. Then we have straight line control, which I'm guessing is angle snapping. We also have ripple control, and then operating mode, not sure what this is, but we have game, high speed, and normal. Probably should do game here, right? But yeah, some info over here including the battery life. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the web-based software. It does work perfectly. I don't really have any complaints or problems with it. I'll admit though that there is sometimes that is bugging or it's like delayed whenever you switch tabs, but it's nothing really major, not a big deal. But yeah, now let's do some polling rate test. This is the Razer polling rate tester app. Let's see how accurate 8000 Hz polling rate is. Yep, the 8000 Hz polling rate is pretty accurate on this mouse. But yeah, that should be enough. As you can see, pretty consistent 8000 Hz polling rate. But okay, other than the polling rate tester app, I also got a testing method for the click speed. So it will measure the moment it touches the button over here and the moment it registers to the computer. So let's see over here, S9 Max. But okay, as you can see, we got around 2.179 milliseconds, which is pretty impressive, as you can see from the graph over here, comparing it to other gaming mice. I doubt you'll notice a difference even if you compare it to the top gaming mice over here on this test, the click speed. But yeah, for those interested on the milliseconds, here you go. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and test this out more in game.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Here's the clip you asked for.
You're done.
I'll break it.
You're done.
I got it.
Wanna go. Flashing out. 3, 2, 1.
I didn't break.
Wall.
Our spike carrier.
Spike down B.
Surprise.
Can smoke, can smoke.
Use clone. To play ahead.
Might be there, no?
Yeah, you're more paranoid than Omen's skill, which is called paranoia.
Damn.
Bomba.
One enemy remaining.
Anyone else?
God.
So after playing and testing with the EWEADN S9 Max, here's my experience so far. Now, as you saw from my Radiant/Immortal ranked lobbies gameplay, it didn't hold me back when I was gaming. I was still able to perform my best. Tracking with it, flicking with it, micro adjusting with it felt very nice. Very responsive. I didn't really encounter any issues with it. It worked like a perfect gaming mouse. The shape felt pretty comfortable to me as well for long gaming sessions. I didn't really encounter any uncomfortabilities with it. Now, after a while of gaming, gaming as well, you might think it will get a lot of fingerprints. Well, not really. It gets dirty like a normal mouse if you sweat a lot, you know. There might be a few marks here and there that you can easily clean off. But yeah, fingerprint wise, not really. Maybe very minimal and very hard to notice. But yeah, just a quick little wipe should get that away. It doesn't really attract that much fingerprint like you think it would because of its glossiness. And even if it does, it is still very hard to notice. But yeah, I was also able to take advantage of the lighter weight of the max version over here, which I've been waiting for, because the Pro and the Ultra version, my only like little nitpick about them, for me personally, I mean, its weight is definitely not bad, especially for those that desires that weight and it's comfortable for around that weight range. But for me personally, I really like a lighter weight mice. So yeah, I really like where this max version is directing to. I do love its lighter weight. I'm just more used to it tracking, aiming, flicking with this lighter weight mice, or mouse I meant. It just felt so much more comfortable for me personally. So I really like EWEADN's decision in making a lighter weight version of the S9. But I do wish they can go lower in weight though I really like where this is heading to, and it is definitely a good improvement. I can't help but imagine this being on like, let's say 50-gram mark. Like, I would 100% choose this over the Razer Viper V3 Pro if that is the weight of this mouse. Like, I don't care if it has like slightly better performance, if it was around 50 grams, or of course the lower the better. But yeah, I really like where it's going. Definitely an amazing weight improvement over here. Anyway, so would I recommend it? Well, I did recommend the S9 Ultra and the Pro, so of course, I would definitely recommend a lighter weight version of those. And you know what? If you really prefer that lighter weight, I might even recommend this over the S9 Ultra, though it does have a better sensor and stuff. But yeah, a 3395 on lower weight might, I mean, personally, I would prefer that than a 65-gram 3950 Ultra. But again, if you do prefer that 65-gram weight range, then the Ultra is definitely a good choice. It has a better sensor and it's not really that much more expensive. But yeah, if you want lighter weight, then yeah, the Max, amazing. And it is cheaper than the Ultra as well by just a little few dollars. Now, do I think it's worth it? Well, of course, it is again much cheaper than the Ultra. And I did recommend the Ultra. I thought it was an amazing price for what you're getting. So this being a few dollars cheaper with my discount code MIGSS, definitely, I think it is worth it and I would recommend it. But yeah, it is around $56.9 with my discount code MIGSS. For the performance, the quality, the amazing parrot green color over here, the very amazing decent shape, clicks, features, I think definitely worth it. Very budget friendly. Would I recommend it over the Razer Viper V3 Pro? Well, for the most part, I would. Except if you're like crazy rich and you just want to be sure you've tested Razer before, then yeah. But if you're on a budget, you really like this, what I've talked about it, the look as well, then yeah, I would definitely recommend this over the Razer Viper V3 Pro. And especially with the weight of the S9 Max dropping down, it is very close to the Razer Viper V3 Pro. Some might not even notice the difference. So yeah, I think this mouse, the S9 Max, can definitely kill the Razer Viper V3 Pro for a lot of you guys, especially for those that are on a budget. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put this mouse first link in the description if you're interested. Please use my discount code MIGSS. You will get some discount and you will be able to support me and the channel a lot. I will also have affiliate links down in the description, so if you could use those, I would really appreciate it as well. And I want to give a little disclaimer that this mouse is sent to me by EWEADN, but that won't change my review. Everything that you've been hearing me say about this mouse are all my honest opinions and review. Anyways, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to stay grateful and remember, Jesus loves you. Bye bye.